In today's video, I've compiled a list of 20 Pokemon cards that are $20 or less that would be a great addition to anyone's collection. Now, the list ranges from some of the newest sets all the way back to some Wizards of the Coast era stuff. So I'm very excited about this list. Let's just jump straight into it. And make sure you take some time in the comments to let me know which of these cards are your favorites, or any of them if they're like a must-have for you. And we have to start off with one of the newest sets. This is from Mega Evolution. This is the Bulbasaur illustration rare number 133. Now this card just recently fell into our category. It's $19.78. It's a great looking illustration rare. I like the colors. It really pops. And, you know, back at release, it was $47. It did have a little bit of a run back up to almost $30, but it's continued to fall. And right now, just barely makes the list at $19.78. One of the reasons that, you know, this also is making the list is because previously, you know, we did get a Bulbasaur card that obviously I think is much better. This card's not on the list, but just to show you as a reference point, you know, we did get a Bulbasaur illustration rare in Stellar Crown that is currently a $60 card. So, you know, definitely two different art styles, but a must-have for your collection, especially if you're a Gen 1 fan. So Bulbasaur on the list. Next up, we're going to go all the way back to Ancient Origins. This is just a holo rare, but it's kind of almost like a full art style. And this is the Entei number 15. This card's been shooting up kind of big recently, up around 90%. But you can see it's around $10 right now. And there's not that many currently listed on TCG Player. I think you'll have a better chance if you want to pick this card up looking on eBay. I was checking this out before, and there's a lot more listings on eBay. And obviously you get more with photos. When you're going to buy older cards, you know, this is from 2015. So we're talking, you know, a 10-year-old card at this point. But it's kind of one of those ones where if you just want to add a cool card to your list, to your collection, you know, it's a great looking card. It's a different version of Entei that, you know, we haven't really seen. And, you know, I like the Crown Zenith Entei a lot. And that doesn't make the list. So obviously that's, you know, in the $30+ range. But this one, you know, at $10, there is also a reverse holo and a regular holo foil. But anyways, it's just a great looking card to add to the list that, you know, maybe you haven't seen. It's a little bit older. So I just wanted to mention that. Also, for reference, this card's up 545% on the year. You know, a year ago, this was a $1.68 card, and now it's around $10. Either way, still makes the list, and it's a great little addition to your collection. Similarly, another comparison, right? This is only $10 right now, but in that same category, this is the Gyarados from Ancient Origins, number 21. Now, this one's not on the list either. This is just a comparison card. But you can see this card is $55, and it's that same style where it's almost like a full art. You can see it just doesn't quite go all the way down to the bottom of the card, but it's just a holo rare, and this is the same style. Anyway, so I just wanted to point that out, that you know, there is a more expensive style of this card, and it is the Gyarados, which obviously as a Gyarados fan I absolutely love. So that's part of why I picked the Entei, was because there was another good card for reference there. Next up, we're gonna stay with some newer cards. Now, this card pairs with another card, and this is like a pair. You can almost get both of these cards for $20. This is the Bewear card from Shrouded Fable. Now, be careful with this one. It looks like there was just a buyout on this card right here in early October that did shoot the price up to around $16.15. So this card might be coming down in the future. It shouldn't be this expensive right now. It was around $9 back here in August and September. But this one's from Shrouded Fable, a nice illustration rare, and this isn't even really the nicer of the two, but they pair together, right? And let's just take a look at the one-year chart on this one real quick. A year ago, this was a $4 or $5 card. It did shoot up in February to around 12 before its current little run that it's on right now. But the Bewear illustration rare number 079 pairs perfectly with the Stuffle from Mega Evolution. So we got two cards from Mega Evolutions, which actually kind of does shock me on this list, but this card is absolutely adorable, and you have two different sides of the coin that I do kind of like. You have the innocent, like, you know, your cat or your dog that like chewed up something in the house, and he's just been playing around. But this card's $5 right now for an illustration rare. So it's a nice IR. You pair it, you know, let this card maybe come down a little bit, but even right now at this price, you could get both for $20. So you got like, this is kind of like the creepier, like scarier side of Bewear, and then you have like the more innocent Stuffle. So those are two cards that you can get for around $20 right now. Currently, I think they pair really well. Next up, we have a few Pikachus that have made the list. This is the one from that Paldea Adventure Chest, and it's a great looking card, right? It's a nice promo right here. This is number 088. And earlier, this card was right at the cusp, right? In September, this was a $20 card. It's fallen quite a bit, down to around $13, $14 currently. So a much better entry point on that card. If we zoom out on the 1 year, that was the all-time high of this card, right here in early September. Previously, this card was around $5 or $6. It ran up to around 13 in late February, early March, and then fell back down to around 6 before its current run. So much more affordable right now, and lowest listeds. There's only one in that $13 range, and then it goes up into the 15. So this card actually may be a little bit on the rise again. So just based off lowest listeds, although this is a high supply card, there's a ton of these currently available on TCG Player, but a nice looking Pikachu promo for under 20. And then, there was actually a lot of Pikachu cards that I wanted to include on the list. There's a lot of older promos that are shooting up pretty big right now. And I could have done, honestly, I think we could have done just 20 all Pikachu cards. But I tried to keep it, a little bit more affordable. And here's one. This is the illustration contest card. Now, this was a free card that you could have gotten from the Pokemon Center if you bought something and just used a promo card, or promo code rather. And this card had been right at our cusp, our cutout point of $20 back in September. It's fallen down quite a bit, but it's just an adorable illustration. And so that's why it's on the list. It would look great in a binder, so 2 Pikachu cards on the list, and little different styles, right? They're both promo cards, but I like the look of this one. And, not that this one's going to do what the McDonald's one is doing, but you saw what the Japanese McDonald's Pikachu is doing and stuff like that. So just another nice card to have for your collection, around $15 currently. Lowest listeds are all right there, $15, $16 for this card. It's just an adorable yawning Pikachu, so you can't go wrong there. All right, now next up, we might be getting a little controversial. Just hear me out, okay? I think this is kind of fun, but we're trying to spice up the list a little bit, and I actually like these cards, believe it or not. Now we're gonna take a look at a few break cards. Now, if you're newer to the hobby, maybe you missed these. These are from the XY era, and these are horizontal cards. And the Pokemon are gold, and I totally understand why a lot of people maybe don't like these, but I kind of like them. I kind of think that they're kind of cool and they're kind of different, and a lot of them are very affordable right now. So we do also have a Greninja set coming out. In the future, that Ninja Spinner, it's not 100% confirmed, but we're pretty sure it's going to be a Mega Greninja set moving forward. But this is the Greninja break card number 41 out of 122 from Breakpoint. I think that these cards are pretty cool. So the Greninja card, a year ago was a $7 card, went up to 11, came back down to 9, and now it's at $17. So right there, it does meet our criteria of under 20. I think it's a cool card. It's a popular Pokemon. I don't think you can go wrong. Especially, like I said, if you're newer or if you're trying to show off some like different style cards in your collection, the break cards are great for that, right? Because they really stand out as this unique like era of card. Here's another one. Going off of Legends ZA, right? There's Raichu, and there's going to be that DLC that's coming out. The X and Y of the Raichu, but this is number 50 out of 162 from Breakthrough. And this card's up 100% on the year. Very affordable, right? This is an $8 break card currently, but a popular Pokemon, Gen 1, and it's an interesting, unique style. And I will say this, I do have some of these break cards, and I do think that they look better in person. So don't necessarily go off of these scans here on TCG Player. Try and find some better photos or some videos of people like opening some of these packs, because I think that these cards actually do look pretty good in person. A year ago, this was a $4 card. It's up to $8. Nothing too crazy, but like I said, affordable cards that, maybe could stand out in your collection. It'd be nice to have like a whole binder page of break cards. I think that that's super cool. So that's why they're on the list. And then lastly, this is the last one that we're going to have on here. Now, this one's technically over the price point. It's at $21. But this is the Lugia from Fates Collide number 79. Once again, another popular Pokemon. Silver Tempest, been doing big things. The Lugia Chase card, been doing big things. And this card's up 281% on the year. A year ago, this was a $5, $6 card. And now it was as high as 23, 24. It's come down a little. So it's on the way down. I think you probably can cop this for $20 or less on eBay. So maybe, once again, check them out. Let me know in the comments too. How do you guys feel about these break cards? Like, is it am I like a way off base on these? Or I don't know. I feel like it's going to be mixed in the comments, and which is totally fine. They're not for everyone. Those are the last ones on the list, but I think they're cool. Like I said, and they're a great way to diversify your collection. You can pick them up under 20. There's a few listings under 20 on TCG Player. Let's see. Let's load up this photo while we're here. Yeah, it's hard to see from this, but you can see the hollow pattern is kind of cool too. It's a little bit different. So like I said, that's not really portrayed in the scan that we were seeing earlier. So like I said, they look better in person. But those are the break cards. Before we go any further real quick, I did want to remind you guys that we are doing a giveaway for Phantasmal Flames, the biggest giveaway we've ever done on the channel. I'm actually really excited for it and a little nervous to give away this much stuff. But anyways, if you guys want to enter, there will be a link in the description to the video, but this is the video right here. This says free giveaway, enter now in the thumbnail. With a bunch of Phantasmal product. We're giving away a booster box, ETB, booster bundles, tons of stuff from Phantasmal Flame. So go watch that video. That's going to be how you enter. We'll do the drawing after Phantasmal releases officially on the 14th. So I think it should be around the 16th that we're going to do that announcement of the winners there. So make sure you check that out. But let's get back to the list. We're going back to Sun and Moon era. This is one we talked about somewhat recently. There is a nicer Vileplume card from Cosmic Eclipse that I like more, but it doesn't obviously make the list. This one's at $14-15 right now, and I think that this Vileplume with Erica, I think it's a great looking card, right? This is number 4 out of 236. It's just an ultra rare, but it's a nice looking card nonetheless. It's up 23% in the past 3 months, and we're kind of at a high on this card, so you know, be a little careful with this one on the list, but it still qualifies as being a $14 card. A year ago, this was around a $5 card. It did peak earlier this year in May, June at 14, came back down to 11 before going back up to around $14 where it's currently at. But a really nice looking card to add to your collection, no doubt, especially if you're Gen 1 fan. Next up, we have a pair of cards that, you know, I wasn't sure that this wasn't in my intention when I was making this list, but, you know, I just was scrolling around, you know, scavenging through sets to kind of pick some stuff out, and I picked out a pair of Zeraora cards. And this is number GG42 from the Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery. This is the VMAX. And this card too, once again, this photo doesn't not do it justice at all. This card pops, it's textured, it looks really great in person. And this one kind of falls a little bit into the cutesy category. You have the Pachirisu chilling on his head, just sleeping. Absolutely adorable. So Zeraora, it's at $16 currently. Crown Zenith is a great set. But let's see how this card stacks up. It's kind of, once again, at a high point, but still, you know, a few dollars under that $20 per card. Once again, this isn't about, is this the best time to buy these cards? This is just, hey, these are cards that are $20 and under for your collection that I like, right? It's not necessarily about the timing of these cards, right? Obviously, if you could time travel and go back a year, that would have been the best time to buy all of these. But, you know, a year ago, $6, ran up to 12, 13 in March, came back down a little to 10, and now we're seeing it just off of this 1 year high right here, coming down a little bit. So starting to decline a little. Not too much though. It's just dropped a tiny bit. Lowest listeds are right there in that $16 range if you include shipping right there. So we'll see if this one holds strong. Well, like I said, great looking card from Crown Zenith. And then off of that, you know, when we were pulling up the Bulbasaur card from Stellar Crown, just as a reference point, I was scrolling through Stellar Crown and this card caught my eye. This is another Zeraora card. This is illustration rare number 151. Very affordable, right? It's only $8, so definitely you could pick up multiple copies, you know, under 20. But this is one that I think is a cool pose. I like the colors. I think it's just a nice looking illustration rare. It definitely looks great in the binder as well. And this card's up 27% in the past 3 months. Come up a little bit. It's from $6.37 up to $8, so nothing too crazy. If you zoom out on the 1 year, this card had been a lot higher back in February and March, as high as $11 or $12. So at a pretty decent entry point, all things considered, for the Zeraora. But it's just a nice looking illustration where you can't go wrong. Next up, we're going back to Crown Zenith. This is the Galarian Gallery number GG05. This is the Lapras. And this one's very affordable as well. It's been coming down pretty big recently. It peaked back here in September at around $20, and it's come down to around 12 or 13 right now. It's just another one that's just a great illustration. I like these cards too that have multiple Pokemon in the background, but absolutely adorable Lapras. You can't go wrong. What's it been doing in the past month? Down almost 30%. So this might be, this one's looking like probably a much better time to buy for this one, obviously, as it's come down quite a bit. It's still up massive though, 422% on the year. This was a $2 or $3 card a year ago. Peaked or previously in the year at around 8, came back down to around 6 before its current run that it's on. So still up very big overall. A nice looking card. This one looks great. These cards are very prone to print lines and like really light surface scratches. I've noticed there's a lot of the non-textured glaring gallery cards can be a little bit rough, but hey, if you're looking just to pick up a binder copy, it's going to look great in there. So that's why this Lapras makes the list. Next up, I got to mention this anytime I can. I just love this card. This is the Team Rocket's Houndoom, number 191 from Destined Rivals. It's an illustration rare. I think this is a cool card. I genuinely don't understand how this card is under $20 because I think it really hits that cool factor. But, you know, I do have some nostalgia from like Gen 2. And anyways, I think it just hits the pose, like the anime pose. I really like it. I know it's an illustration where it's not that hard to pull, but I would think that this card would have been like 25, 30, somewhere in that range. This is one where I know I must be out on left field. The market doesn't obviously not agree, but it is holding strong. It's been around $18 for a while. I mean, you can see the fluctuation. It was over 20 right here. It hit around 23, 24. So it has been there, ups and downs, but let's see if we zoom out all the way. The lows have been 18 has been the lows, so we're pretty much at a low on this card. So probably a decent time to buy, all things considered. If you're looking, keep in mind this is a newer card from a newer set, hot set too. So when it comes to buying a new card, usually you want to wait longer on these new releases just for them to drop. But you know, previously peaked around 24, 25, which I kind of like that price better for this card. But anyways, it is what it is. It makes the list, right? It's $2 under, so definitely on the list. Next up, we have a pair of Ceruledge cards. This is just I think this is a cool design for a Pokemon, heavily featured in the new anime if you haven't seen it. But this one's from Surging Sparks. This is number 197, and it's currently just barely under the $20 mark. $19.78. It's just a great IR. I had no complaints. I like the art style. I like the Pokemon. I like the drawing. Everything about this. It's just a nice looking card. If you zoom out, this card had been in December of last year as high as $42. Came back down to in the 30s and back up to almost 40. And then it's kind of been in this range. It was looks like June was its low of $16, and it's come up a little bit up to around 19 currently. And I kind of, understand where it's at. Surging Sparks, obviously, getting hit with some reprints here and there, driving the probably, definitely factoring into driving that price down. But it's rebounded pretty decent from 16 to 19 as far as percentages go. You can pick this up for, right here. There's only a few listings actually under 20 currently on TCG Player. This is another one where you probably have a better bet on eBay to secure this for under 20. But a nice looking IR, and this actually pairs into our first Japanese card of the list. I wanted to include at least a few Japanese cards, and this is the Ceruledge from Terastal Festival. Now this one's technically at $21 ish, but we got to clear these filters so we can make sure lowest listed. So you can see lowest listed are like $20.93. But you might be able to pick one up for 20 or less on eBay. So technically, that's why I let it slide. But this is another great example of one that absolutely is stunning in person. The texture pops so much. And, this card has a lot going on, like with the crown and the colors. It can actually be kind of hard to see from this photo of like what even is happening, but this is a stunning card. If you want to add a card that absolutely pops, this is one, and you can do it for $20 or less. So the Ceruledge, this is a SAR from Terastal Festival. We recently talked about the English version, but the Japanese version is one that just technically meets that price point. So check that out as well if you're looking to add another card that just really pops, man. Especially if you get it in a nice sleeve when you put it in. If you're going to put it in your binder, don't use one of those older sleeves that came with the old ETBs. They're actually like like a hazy, like they actually like hide the shine if you haven't noticed. The newer ETB ones don't, but make sure you get a nice clear sleeve because this one really pops in person. It's a great looking card. We did pull this on the channel, I think. Um, yeah, I think so. I don't know. That was a while ago when we were opening some terrestrial stuff. So you probably have to hunt to see when we pulled that, but a stunning looking card. Maybe it wasn't on the channel. I can't remember. But either way, we did pull this card, and I was very happy to have pulled this. Next up, we're getting back to Wizards of the Coast. I promised we were going to get there. And this is the Entei promo. This is like a reverse holo with the Cosmo foil. You can have swirls on this card. This card's up 67%. It just, once again, barely makes the list right now, right? It's at $20.74. It was as high as like 24.25 earlier in October, so it's come down a little bit. But this is a really nice looking vintage promo, and you can see it's up 234% on the year. $6 a year ago, and so it's coming at a time where it's at a high, but it's been dropping down a little bit. So you can definitely pick this one up for 20 or under, especially if you're looking on eBay. Lowest listeds right now, technically 20, but you're gonna be at $21, $22 with shipping right here. So it is possible, but you're gonna have to probably hunt around a little bit on eBay. But this card does pop too. I like this, and I like Entei. Obviously, considering Entei already made the list, but this is just one of those last like WotC holo promos that actually is on the list, just because everything is like above $20. So this one just barely scraping it out. Next up, we have another Japanese card. Now this is, I wanted to get a tag team card on here, and this is the Reshiram and Charizard number 016 from Tag All Stars. A really nice looking tag team. It just barely makes the list again, once $19.40. So had to go to Japanese to get this to happen. And once again, there's nothing wrong with Japanese. The quality is always great. They look great. So if you want to have a nice looking, affordable Charizard card, tag team with Reshiram, this would probably be the best way to go, $19.40. If we look at the 1 year, a year ago, $8 card. Now it's up. Like I said, it's come down a little bit. It hit 20 before, back in July, came back down to 18, back up to 20, and then now it's down just under $20 currently. So another great one to add. And then we have two more cards to get through. So this is number 18. Now we're at number 19. I wanted to make sure we had an SIR on the list, and this is what I chose for this SIR. Another one, I really wish TCG Player would change their photos, but I get it. This one pops in person. It's very sparkly. It really shines. I think I actually have this card at PSA right now. I think I had a good chance at a 10 too. We pulled this card back in June on the birthday stream, but 23% up. It was at $16 down here back in September. Now it's around $14, so very affordable. About $5-6 under the current price target of the list. And this card had been as high as 17-18 in February, and then the 1 year low was around $10. So it's actually bounced pretty decently off this $10 mark, from 10 up to around 14 currently. So a very affordable SIR from Obsidian Flames. And then lastly, this is the Arbok from Temporal Forces, a great looking illustration where I think this card's really cool. And this card was $7 a year ago. It's been technically over the price. It's been around $22, $23 back in February, and it fell off pretty hard all the way down to around 11 or 12. Now it's back up to around 15. It's a great looking IR. Popular enough Pokemon. I like the pose that they chose to put him upside down. I think it's just a nice looking card. Definitely one of those underrated illustration rares. So not a surprise to me that it made the list. But that is our list of 20 cards for $20 or less. I had a fun time making this. I kind of want to do more of these in the future. And I will try to do that. We'll do some different ones like 15, 10 and under, stuff like that. But I feel like once you get into like 20, somewhere around that range is where you really can start getting some real decent cards. Not that there's not, 10 and under that can be good as well, but $20 really opens it up and you get a much wider variety of stuff you can choose from. So let me know what your guys' favorite cards were from this list, but that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to enter the giveaway. But I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.